What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 20, picking up from the Cathedral of metyr. So now that we have wrapped up with Shadowkeep in full, taken out all of our main and optional bosses here, the only thing that's left of the DLC, honestly, is to push forward your last region and obviously your last Legacy dungeon. However, there is still a bit of optional content to do. So that's going to be your Madness region down here and your last map fragment, which we have yet to get. It's very tucked off. Jagged Peak, and then the hinterlands. So this episode, we're actually going to be knocking out the hinterlands in full, and then we're going to wrap up with the metyr quest line. So all we have left is, the trip down here to the Madness region, Jagged Peak, and we're pushing towards the end. So with that being said, we did come here earlier, met Ymir. He gave you the whole laden necklace, which is meant to be used at the finger ruins. Now we already got you the first finger ruins unlocked. From there, we're going to be going to interact, get a few talismans, and get into this quest. So you're going to see the Sister of Night here. She's just one of the guards of Ymir. There's two of them. They're two sisters. These are Black Knights. Very, very, very formidable enemies. So they're going to be using those that new introduced black magic. So that katana does the same things like that shield we had, where it looks like a smoke effect. Really dope. I said before, that katana, we're going to be able to get that, but it's like what Moonveil wishes it could be. It's super powerful. So either way, just going over here, go through his dialogue, ask about the knight you just spoke with. Now, this is for people that follow along. If you haven't been here yet, you have to go through the first interaction, progress a bit, come back. So either way, following the walkthrough, we've already guessed you guys this, and we did this Cerulean Coast. So all you're going to do is put a marker right here in the center. There's nothing in the finger ruins. It is a little bit unfortunate, to say the least, because they're really unique, cool zones, but they're just, they're so empty. So with that being said, me personally, I do want to duplicate Mesmer's Boss Remembrance, and I've already used all the ones from the base game, so I'm going to stick to the far right. There's the casket up here, which does let you duplicate, so I will be going to do that. If you guys, don't feel like doing that, you can just go straight for your talisman. Now, going through all the finger ruins, well, the first two, it's a pain in the ass, because of all these enemies, they're spamming purple magic. It's going to lock you in place. They're spewing poison on you. They're going to portal other enemies to drop on your head, do grab attacks. It's going to annihilate you. And on top of that, they are also just, like regular projectiles and stuff. So it's pretty much a pain in the ass. If you guys really want to go through and take all these guys out, you can, but there is nothing here. There's nothing here. You might as well just go straight to the center, be done with it. I would just move around, keep moving so you don't get caught by the spells. And oh yeah, that drops farther than I remember too. Yep. So that's what's going to happen over and over and over and over and over. And dude, I'm telling you right now, it is the most obnoxious, frustrating, rageful thing I could fucking think of. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But, as you see, if you just pick your paths wisely, you just really move around, try to stay around these big rocks and structures for protection, you can avoid a lot of it, man. You shouldn't really have to worry about it. That's what we're worried about right there, right there, right there. Yep, see, knocks right off the torrent. Look how long it's taking us to get up. We're just fucking pinned down, and it's gonna happen so much, bro. They're just spamming it. That's what they're doing, see? Every 2 seconds. So it's super fucking obnoxious. If it wasn't so back-to-back, I'd be like, alright, I get it. We're gonna make it difficult, but you see what I'm saying? It's just obnoxious as fuck. Whoever created this is a piece of shit. I swear they are. But there's no need to actually go through and fight all these guys. We're about there. Yeah, see, that's what they're trying to do. Now, if they want to be fucking tough, put him down. And there we go. We're locked in with another one. You see what I'm saying? It's just back to back, bro. Alright, there we go. So interact. We'll get through it, but yeah, it's pretty rough, to say the least. And since there's nothing else here, there's no justification for actually going through doing everything. Alright, so from here, we're going to jump back to metyr. Exhaust his dialogue, get your next map fragment. Now, if you did not do Bonnie Village, and you did not get the gesture, you're not even going to be able to do this quest, because we have to reach a hidden location within the DLC to even get to the Finger Ruins. So exhaust his dialogue, take this in your own time if you guys do want to enjoy it. It is interesting,
I have made
So, beloved Stardust. Oop. This is not a quest type, it's actually just, item. It's a talisman, so shortens casting speed of sorcery and incantation by the utmost, but increases damage taken. Alright, so from here, now that you got that map fragment, we're going to jump back to Shadowkeep Backgate. This is where we were last episode. So instead of going out there to fight the Boar Rider, you're going to simply go over here to the right hand side. Get your Scatter Tree fragment. And this needs to be moved, but the only way to move this is Oh Mother. Like I said, we picked this up for you guys before. For anyone that's missing that, that's going to be in episode 12. So I don't think you're going to be locked out of it if you didn't get it yet. But you're definitely going to want to go and pick that up. So this is another area that's vastly empty. There's some good stuff here. There's some really good stuff. But it's few and far between. If you guys want to do some exploration, have at it. There's a lot to see here. With that being said, like everything over on the left-hand side, all you're going to find is a bunch of bears and shadow sunflowers. So if you want to just check it out, because this area is really cool. So this is where America's from. It's a very somber, peaceful area. So right over there on the right-hand side, that's America's old home and her own property, where her and the shamans lived before everything went down. There's some really good items up there. There's a spell and a really good talisman that'll help us. First, we're going to have 2 Blast from the Past be in your 3 seconds. Now these guys do drop America's Divine Blessing, which is nice. So like I said, it's like a heal all, cleanse all stats effects, which are exceedingly rare within the game. The DLC, there's only a few. Thaws that out a bit. There we go. There's one. It's America's Divine Blessing. So you get 2 here. There's one at the start, then there was one at the Fort of Reprimand. So there's like 4 altogether. I think there might be one later on we get, but like I said, oh, I never put on our new boss snoop. Yep, they hit like trucks, bro. Watch out, remember, he can send spells back at you. Oh, no, yeah. Don't do that again. Yep, too early on that. It's okay. Thawed him out. Yeah, for a big guy, man, he can just swing that damn weapon around over and over and over. There you go. So now we got that. We're going to turn around and we're going to go uphill. So like I said, this is really cool to take in. Don't rush this just because I am. We have a lot to do, right? So we just don't have the time to take it in. My first blind playthrough I came through here, I was just like slowly riding and checking it out because it is. It's really nice to take in. It's rich with lore implications, right? Because you have an area where America is actually from. So when you get over here, before you go towards her house over there. No, I didn't pass it yet. Never mind. Never mind. There is, as mentioned, going to be a spell and then an incantation. So right here is the spell. It's what Melina was using. when you fought Morgott, where she summoned the tiny erdtree that healed you. So now you have access to that. And if you go all the way up to the tree, you're going to get a talisman that boosts holy damage negation by the utmost. By the utmost. So you're going to be very protected from holy damage, and that's what the final boss of the DLC does. So if you came here to got that, it's obviously, you know, going to offer you a lot of benefits. But yeah, it is really cool to take in, guys. Just because we don't have time to enjoy it does not mean you shouldn't, right? Don't want to take away from you guys' experience. Just want to get you through it. Alright. Now from here, there's only one item on the right, so we're just going to run and grab it. So if you were to pull up your map, we're going to go across this bridge. We're going to go downhill to the right for a few consumables, right? Then from there, we're just going to go straight on over for the one and only, thank God, Fallen Star Beast. Aside from that, there's just crafting, and that already clears the first half of the zone. The only other thing is a big fight with a huge finger down a hole over here. There's a boss duplication, and then over here to the finger run. So, like I said, it's mainly just an empty area. It does go quick, but we have a very, very secret remembrance boss to take care of. We have obviously the rest of Ymir's quest line and 3 invasion events. Well, 2 invasions and then another boss fight. Now, this episode is going to be really good for Faith and Dex. If you're doing those really obscure Faith Int builds, you guys are going to get a Catalyst that can cast spells and incantations, super fucking powerful. Then there's some really good intelligent spells like gravity magic spells. I'm about to get you one up here from the Fallen Star Beast. So you guys are getting a lot of love this episode. You know, you're getting towards the back portions of the DLC, so obviously anything we find from this point, I mean, you found very powerful things. DLC happens after the game. So you have found very powerful things since you've been here, but I think this is where it really shines, getting to this part of the DLC. Everything from this point forward. Yeah, the optional stuff, like when we get to Jagged Peak, when we get to the Madness Zone, like all the stuff we're going to be getting is like super powerful items for those more obscure builds, like Madness builds, Faith Int builds. So it's a lot of really, really, really good stuff coming, guys. That's why I'm trying to go more faith quality, but I had to have 60 faith and 60 dex for scaling, so I'm bringing up that strength a bit now, because this is going to give us access to a lot of stuff to show off. But either way, guys, over there up top, you're not going to find anything at all. That cliff over there, this is going to get you some crafting, but essentially that's it. Now, Fallen Star Beast is always very, very formidable. And since you're in the DLC, he's higher level than the ones in the base game. So we're going to go ahead and get Mimic. I'm trying to think if there's something. I mean, the frostbite that's set up, that's for a remembrance boss. Make sure you guys have whatever weapon you want. A fully upgraded weapon with frostbite for the remembrance boss, just kind of set aside. But I'm trying to think of what I want to go in here with. I guess we could use this. I want to get that posture damage. You know what else? I do not need that. You know, Flame Shrouding. Same moveset. He's got a few new spells that you haven't seen thus far. And you're out of your hole, buddy. Remember, watch his head. His head goes up, that's your time. Tail throws around rocks, too. Thank you. Stone barbs. I swear to God, you know, even though I'm not doing like the loss of weapons usually and all that, Stone Barb is probably the most powerful tier in the game, in my opinion. Like, not even close, because you're staggering bosses, even if you're not built for like doing critical hits. The boss is staggered, cancel the spell. They do take increased damage, right? This stuff helps to remember. Come on, land it. Nope. Yeah, he's good at moving around. He's so good at it. Creating and closing distance is where he really shines. Okay. There it is. And that's going to can get you a new gravity spell. Really dope. The requirements aren't even that high either. So gravitational missile. And I think it's only like 36 hit. So it's not bad. You know, if you're doing like Dex Hint, where you still want to use spells, but you're using, you know, like a melee mage, I think it's perfect for that. Because like I said in the base game, when you want to do an imp build for just spell casting, you know, get Renala's staff is good because you can get 60 imp. But if you're going through the really big base game, if you're doing like Dex Hint for melee mage, you're trying to use those really good somber staffs, you're not going to be able to do it until really late because of the fact that you need 60 imp. So to get 60-60 doesn't happen to the very end of the game. So spells like that give you access to powerful spells you can use much earlier if you're going with physical and intelligence. You know what I mean? So it's definitely something to keep in mind. So from here, make sure you get your side of grace. And we're going to be going on down. Like I said, it's pretty empty all in all. The only action is going to be over here. There might be loose if you guys want to go through. I didn't really find anything, but there could be crafting or consumables. But as you notice, like that's there's just nothing here. Then you know the finger rooms are always empty. So what we're going to be doing is go on down and do this left portion. So right, it's not exact. It's really hard to pinpoint, but there's going to be like a hole in the ground right here. Then I think it's like right up on this cliff, or like right over here is a boss duplication. You know what? I might be. Yeah, let's do that real quick. We've been picking up some really powerful things, and I have not been using these. So we're going to jump to round table very briefly. So 35 strength. Yeah, I'm just trying to get that to 40, and if I can get mine to 30 for these spells we pick up, that's good. 60 health, that's like where your caps are really, really strong. If we can get to 30 mine for spell casting, be perfect. 25 endurance is perfect. 60 faith, 60 dex, but I'm wanting to get more of a quality. So I feel if we get 5 levels here, that's a perfect build. We sitting at level 214, so it's not even, you know, that high either. Oh yeah, we need like 300,000 level now. I don't think I have that. No, been popped a lot. So I'm going to jump to round table real quick so you guys Mesmer's weapon. Oh, while we're here, I need to put on Mesmer's other spell. This is where the build really clicks. If you're doing like Dex Faith or whatever Faith build you're doing in the DLC. As you're getting some just God tier abilities at this point. So this is a boss nuke that I think replaces the other one I just had on. I always forget the name, Flame of the Fell God, because it comes off so much better, and you float in the air with this, so you can avoid getting hit, but you can just tap it and just shoot towards the enemy with an explosion, but you can charge it up. You're trying to stall in the air and then get a bigger explosion. So it's just a very, very powerful ability. But with that being said, you know, high faith requirement. Right. Sorry about that, y'all. Kitten wanted out of the room. She's always up my ass, but she wants to go play. Alright, so Mesmer the Impaler's weapon. I like this. So I'm not a spear guy. You know, if you guys have followed along the whole series, base game, and now you know, like, there's a few spears I like. They stick out, right? But I'm not a thrusting weapon kind of guy. With that being said, this one really stands out because of the fact that it is actually a Smith's Grip weapon, the best Smith's Grip weapon in the game. So you're going to get, it's a great spear, so light attacks, it's going to be thrust. There are no swipes, but charged heavy, instead of doing a big thrust, you get to throw your spear out. If you just tap heavy, you'll throw a spear, which is okay, but if you charge it, you get an explosion. And Mesmer's Fire actually has burn over time damage, which most fire doesn't, only Black Flame. Black Flame is the only type of fire in the game, besides Mesmer's, that will actually continuously do burn damage, right? Every other weapon just does fire added damage, so I really like that about it. But yeah, it's really good. You got some range options, and then the Ashavor is exceptionally fucking powerful. So now that we got that set up, we're going to just be jumping back. Fingerstone Hill. Yeah, this is definitely worth the mentions. I mean, undoubtedly one of the best weapons in the game. I just don't like spears. Now, if it was like bikes where I got slashes, like a spear that got slashes, more like a pole arm, I'd love them. You know, I'd love them. But thrusting to me just gets exceptionally boring, you know, in my opinion. Not everyone feels this way. But like I said, you just throw it out. It's just like having, you know, I don't think, I mean, it does the base fire damage that it has, but you charge it. Then Ashes of War. This is worth speaking of. So this is the whole Ashes of War swap. Then you're going to get a series of thrusts, just like Mesmer. Throw it, boom. And it's really hard to get that whole thing off in boss fights and fighting elite enemies. But if you just tap it, you just jump up, boom, one big swipe. That's how it's meant to be used. If you have an enemy staggered, then you're coming through and you're just piling it on, man. So the Ashes of War and then the charged heavies where this is really going to shine, in my opinion. Thrust attacks are cool. Once again, not for me. Some people do love it. Alright, guys. So, what we're going to be doing is just sticking to the left-hand side. That little open field I showed you. There's some ledges, you know. You got to be cautious because you'll end up getting killed. You drop down the wrong place. Then the finger ruins here are even more obnoxious than the first because all that bullshit that was happening with you getting stunned and grabbed and all that, that's going to happen even more here. But thankfully, I think it's pretty easy to deal with because there's a lot of root you just kind of hide behind. But yeah, if you try to take this area straight on, you're going to deeply regret it. Now, I am going to wipe these guys out. I'm going to talk to you guys about what we're going to do. Because there's a few things here. Pretty wicked summon you can get. Alright, fellas. I'm not getting killed by some fucking hands. It's not going to happen. See, that's what I'm saying. It's not so bad just to get that off. Much easier to get hit. You probably still land it. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, the whole Ashes of War is obviously going to be pretty strict. Alright, so either fucking way, now that I could actually talk, right down here is the biggest hand you've ever seen in your entire life. You take him out, you're going to get these little handsies as a summon. So, we are going to go down there, but we don't want to go down just yet because that leads out to the finger ruins. So, up top. Yeah, see, virtually no damage unless it's charged. You don't even move his health bar, but you charge it, you get like 10 times as much. You see that? Like, virtually nothing. Now, there's a boss duplication up here, so that's why we're, you know, kind of getting this shit done with these guys. You. I think it's that hell. There should be a few hands around where this duplication is. I think it is a little bit to the left. Like I said, our markers weren't exact just because of how the area is set up. It's kind of a mess. Yeah, it's right here. And like I said, there are going to be a few handsies. I'll probably save it. I want to make sure you guys know where it's at. Oh, he should have got stunned. Yeah, he should have got stunned. That's why I went ahead and did that. The fire usually stuns him, so I figure if he catches us, we'll be okay. That'll do it. Thank you. Alright, so right here, this is going to be your boss duplication. Now, as far as the DLC bosses, we've already got that many. Wow, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only very few left. But, with that being said, guys, like, that was a talisman Ashes of War. The Ashes of War is phenomenal. We picked that up. We got her weapons, her spells, awesome, with the moons. But the fact of the matter is, this is intelligence. I'm not wielding that. War Rider was cool. It's Ashes of War and the weapon which we got. That one, I think we actually did pick up that spell, so that's pretty dope. His spell is very powerful in his weapon, but there's just nothing else I want. But yeah, guys, make sure you actually look around and make sure there's nothing you may have missed. I never got his spear, but I don't like it. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I wanted while I was here. Malekith. I think I did duplicate him and get both. Hers I definitely duplicated for both. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. As far as the guide, I'm not going to tell you what to duplicate. But, you know, just kind of cover what are a few good things. So, from here, we're just going to kind of backtrack downhill to the left. We're looking for that big hole that we're just at. Should be right on the other side of this pillar. It's there. It's not going to be exact, but it's close. There it is. So there is a ledge. Now this is pretty difficult. When I tell you it's the biggest hand you've seen, like it's so big, it's really, really hard to fight. You see him? Look at this fucking guy. Now it makes him slower, sure, but he takes up so much room. Ooh, got lucky. I'll admit it. I really don't know if Smith script staggers as well as like a regular charge heavy could have thrown it off. I don't know. Just, what I'm getting from it. Oh, thank God. He would have killed us. Trying not to die here. Alright, so this is going to be multiple projectiles this time. Instead of just one. Nope, couldn't get off that AoE. Okay, as long as it's landed. It's gonna take all of our resources, as you guys see. Stop it. I think that's bullshit where if your spell gets interrupted, it still takes your mana. That's, unacceptable. Never used this spell, why are you taking my mana? Yeah, it's just rinse and repeat. You get smacked, you heal, try to get off whatever you can. Obnoxious fucking fight, in my opinion. Should be close to him. There it is. So taking him out is going to get you your summons. Like I said, extraordinarily obnoxious. He's so fucking big that you're always under him. So it's, like I said, it's rinse, repeat. You get smacked, you heal, get one hit. You get smacked, you heal, get one hit. I'm sure there's people that run right through them with probably 2,000 hours in the game. I'm still not one of them, so just, shitty fight. Either way, we're good to go. So from this point, we're actually going to be going to the right. I did want to just kind of show you guys one end from the other. There's nothing going on here, though, guys. Just a cliff, no ledge drops, nothing cool there. Now, this wraps into the ruins. You know, she's starting at the bottom. So what I like to do is stay to this far left side. We're trying to hide behind these fingers so we don't have to deal with all their bullshit. We're just going to get here, blow the whole laden necklace, and then we're fast traveling out. We're done with it. You know what I mean? There's no point of fucking off here, guys. It's gonna piss you off. You're gonna keep getting locked in place. They're gonna portal guys on you. They're gonna poison. They're gonna hit you with projectiles, munch on you, and I don't feel like it's worth your time, especially if you're a newer player. If you're someone that is wanting to follow a guide because you're struggling, which I used to be one of them. Not saying I'm bad. It's just that if you're someone that's struggling and you want to follow a guide for that reason, there's some things that are just gonna be more difficult for you than need be. Like why make a extremely difficult game even harder, in my opinion. Because they don't give you any items. I think you could farm up some of those consumables, like those nails, glintstone nails they're using to spell. The consumable version, but that's it. Maybe some crafting. But if you notice, we've stayed to the far left. We hid behind all the structures, and, the bullshit we dealt with was very, very minimal. Actually, this ruin is usually much harder than the first, and we didn't get caught even once going through here. Nice clean run, Can't be more happy with that. So this is your Cerulean Seed Medallion +1. So remember, if you have a bunch of mind, that will, fill it with one flask. So back to the Cathedral of Metyr. So, with that being said, I did state this in the Platinum walkthrough, that if you don't have at least 38 mind, and your flask are fully upgraded, a flask is going to fully fill you anyways, as far as your mana. Those talismans are only worth it if you're going to over 40, over 38 in mind, guys. Right? So, either way, once you've interacted with both Finger Runes, you're going to go talk to him. He's going to give you a third map. The third map is nowhere to be found. It's not on the surface anywhere. So once you exhaust his dialogue...
Oh, is he? The conceit is then the answer never was America, and this is no, and we have. He knew that isn't a track that he would feel.
There is a lot of good story stuff here. You guys should definitely take it in your own time. But just because, we've got quite a bit to do. We still have a few fights, We have 2 invasions, 2 bosses, 1 remembrance boss. But either way, to get to the third Finger Ruins, did I miss part of his dialogue? We did interact with her, didn't we?
I told you I've no in, but I must admit, Count Emir perhaps an Emir in our eye.
Alright, so she's gonna invade us later. We have to fight both of the Night Sisters. She's the first. She's wielding a katana. The other one's gonna be wielding claws. Magic, physical, blood loss can be a nightmare.
Well, it is them. The fingers.
Let's go through all your options. He should have moved on, but I guess. Oh yeah, I forgot. We'll get his bell bearing anyways, but he does have new spells. Now you progress this mission, which are gonna be these 3. That's what they were using in the catacombs. That glintstone nail that chased you down. That's a single version. That's multi-arc of it. And then you're going to have fleeting microism. Conjures a microism that pulses with a single wave, disappearing in a burst. So, I want to say it's like what the guys were using against us, but I could be wrong. In the Finger Ruins, I could be wrong. I've never done an imp build. Maybe one day on the channel we'll do a complete intelligence playthrough. I've always wanted to. But I just don't know if it's something people want to see after we've just done a whole walkthrough. I've never done an imp build. I would love to do like Dex Ant one time. So either way, guys, down here is like another outer god. It's not the one that we follow for the erdtree. Obviously, it's very dark. It's just really, it's hard to explain. This is, imagine like a really big handsy, but it has fingers going in like a 360 all the way around it. It's absolutely huge, and it has this really big head. It's cosmic. So the head looks like a really big orb, which could fire lasers at you. It has obnoxious movesets such as the fingers, but it could like run at you sideways, and it'll smack you with its finger, pop, 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 multi-hit. So you're just trying to really work on your dodge time from the spell, know what to run away from, what to stay close with, and then aside from that, you're just trying to stagger him. Now frostbite works exceptionally well, and there's our enemy. Well, I'm gonna take her down, then we'll switch weapons. Now I do recommend frostbite. I said that when we were doing the henchman. I'll make sure it's clear. I mean, there's multiple things. You can use blood loss. You can use whatever the hell you want. But me personally, I think frostbite works very well on him, and I think it's gonna help you out. So it's gonna take her down. You're gonna get your claws of night. So like I said, it's like black magic, physical, and a little bit of blood loss because they are claws. All the weapons, that and the katana both, magic, physical, blood loss. Then the shield is get magic and physical. And then we have the armor set. So before we go up, I'm going with frostbite. Like I said, I'm sure blood loss works too. It has flesh. So this is just what I found to work really good, and taking notes and things I was trying. So I'm just going to go in here with wing stance, try to land the big hits, try to stagger. We're going to pop stone barbed. Now, unfortunately, stone barbed, my other tier is for fire. It's going to be utterly useless here, but I think we'll be okay. As long as we're getting that extra posture damage, I'm happy. Then we'll go ahead again, guys. Actually, not again. I didn't even do this before, but I wanted to. But let's go just use our consumable version. And then Flame Grip Mixture, just to get a little bit more damage. It's not going to hurt. When you pop her mana. And he is going to be weak to fire, too. Like I say, he's flesh, so burn damage would be good, too. Just whatever you can get off. So headbutts, that's what your shield's for. It's working on guard counter. 2, 3. Back up, back up. Yeah, and then we cut off that frostbite. Heal. We're dead. Probably. They just does some quick spell protectors, but he's got like this laser of fucking death. He'll like go and go and go. Yeah, big slam. Like I said, it's kind of akin to the fingers. That's the bad one there. Yeah, they'll wipe you out. Like I said, it's very akin to the fingers that way. And that's what I was telling you guys. The biggest thing in this fight, in my opinion, is the fact that you just want to know what to run away from and when to stay close, right? Once you learn that, it's not so bad. Probably take us a few times. I remember running through his health bar. It's almost like a DPS race. Who can do the most damage per second faster, right? It's you or it's him. You know, I like buffs, and I know people love them, but it's like every time I use buffs, I die, and then when I just say fuck it, I don't even care, I'm fine. You know, that's when I beat them, the time I don't use buffs. And we could also, guys, yeah, back up, back up, back up, back up. A lot of damage from that. We could also just stay from far and use spells, too. There's a big laser. That mimic fight close with the frostbite. He's being dick today. Oh, we can pop our stun barb. There it is. Get that crit off. Let's go ahead and thaw his ass out. Yeah, you can summon other fingers too. They're not really big problems. This is a big, bad AoE, guys. Pull it off. Okay, we probably got hit with it early on. And it's gonna come sliding. Shield. Alright, he wasn't after us. If he does that, try to get your shield off. Oh, come on! It did not look like he was in range there. I guess he was. It's okay. We'll get him. We'll get him. It's a little obnoxious. A lot of things in this episode are. You know, I feel like I'm saying every 2 seconds, but I mean, finger ruins, the handsies, it all is. But luckily, this episode is extraordinarily rewarding because of the weapons and the catalyst, and the spells, just everything we're going to be getting. Let's make sure we pop stone barb. I do have that on for successful attacks. That's not a bad setup there, actually. We about had him. We're just stick with it here. Headbutt. Starts heavy. Watch out. Yeah, they'll eat you up. They'll eat you up. Alright. Okay. We get it. You know what I'm saying? Makes you really want to just stay away from him. Thaw him out? No. I want to thaw him out so we get that frostbite. Yeah, it's just a smart tactic, guys. You know, frostbite, fire, thaw him out, proc the frostbite again. Yeah, focus on mimic, not me and mimic. Back fuck. Yeah, he can hit you off. There we are. Yeah, I knew he was going to get caught. Just try to heal through it if you can. There, he's done. There you go. And that's it, you know. Just stick with it, guys. Like I said, DPS, it'll take you a few tries, and then you'll get them, you know. I do believe we lost 200,000 souls here. But we got 500,000. He's worth the same as Elden Beast and Millennia and Moog. 420,000. Please have it. Yeah, I figured we lost him. It's okay. Okay, so if we're only wanting 10 more levels. Isn't it wild you lose 250,000 runes and you're not even worried about it anymore? That's crazy shit, bro. You're just so high level at this point. Alright. So before we go over to the round table hold and go over remembrances, we're going to do that at the end of the episode. So we're going to jump on back and finish up this quest. So as soon as we get here, the other Black Knight, the sister, she's going to obviously invade us. And then we're going to have to fight Ymir. Now, Ymir is a mage. It's going to be used on can summon up a lot of those handsies, and he has kind of like those handsy type spells. Where you at, biatch? Do we have to interact? We might have to interact.
What have you done?
Yep, there she is.
You've wounded Count Emir most irreparably.
Yeah, so that little hand was like his god, and that's what he wanted to do, replace that thing as a god.
Concerns.
Just stay on her, man. Like I said, blood loss, magic, physical. She's not exactly a pushover. There you go.
My dear
Then almost immediately, she's gonna have some backup.
mother, you will be.
My shining star, grant me a mother's strength. Look here, at my fingers. I will be the true mother. And I will be the only mother.
Yeah, you gotta wait. He's got iframes. So like I say, he's gonna summon a lot of the handsies, but you should just be able to stay on the guy. You know what I'm saying? You should just be able to stay on him and just put him down. There you go. Don't toy with him. That's how you get killed. Stay very aggressive. Pile it on actions, war spells, whatever you got. You know, charged heavies. You guys know the drill. So let's get your bells bearing so you can still get all of his spells. Returnal staff, very impressive staff. And then obviously you're going to get his set. Now, with that being said, if you were to go over... So boost finger sorceries, arcane, int, and strength scaling. So arcane and intelligence. And then when you get those handsy spells, it's going to boost them. And it looks really cool. Now the staff I'm about to get you guys for faith int, where you could cast spells and incantations, it looks similar, but it is different. Now the only thing we're missing that I want is the weapon. So, I mean, obviously we got other weapons, but one in particular is the one I want. So she's not here, we'll have the rest. And we can get an absolutely phenomenal katana. And I'm not even a katana guy, if you guys know me. I'm not. I mean, they're cool, but I've never really played with them. But this one I've been wanting to play with. So we're going to go up, interact with her. Now, we've talked about this before. If you were to give her the Iris of Grace, just like Fire Knight Queelan, you're going to get her as a summon. If you give the Iris of Occultation, you get the weapon. I want the weapon. One of the strongest weapons in the game, period. You know, I wouldn't want to put it in top 10 because you got like 400 weapons. Me personally, it's my top 3, but you know, there's a lot of just crazy shit. So in general, I would probably put it in top 10, 15 for almost everybody, but me personally, it's very powerful. I like it in, you know, top 3 for me. So now we got that. That's going to be our baby. We won't play this for a while. Now, I'm not usually playing with katanas, so maybe it'll take me a bit to pick up on the moveset change, but I think we'll go nicely with it. And what I like about it is it has a unique heavy attack that no other katana has, so it's really dope. But yeah, it's super powerful. So for one, it's got that, you know, that black magic animation to it. But yeah, regular katana moveset that way. But if you do a charge heavy, check this out. Wop wop. And then you can turn around, wop wop. So this is a katana that can actually do very well for staggering, which most can't, right? So that is one thing I thoroughly enjoy about it, because I think if katanas did better on staggering, I'd like them a lot more. Alright, so we're just short. So before we close up for this episode, as we have knocked all this out, what I'm going to do is just, you know, quick run through Round Table Hold. We'll get some upgrades. We're going to go over rewards, boss remembrances. So over here, Inya, so you have two choices here. Gazing Finger is just like a great hammer type thing. Colossal Weapon Strike. So it's almost like that big flower. It's something goofy. I'm sure some people like it. I don't think I would be too serious with it. I like more serious weapons, you know, serious builds. Because like the big finger thing, you got this, the sunflower, it's just weird. But a lot of people, I'm sure, love it. So physical, magic, big colossal weapon, what's not to love? C, strength D int. There's not many strength int weapons, so that kind of shines. But this right here, this is one of the most unique items of the game. It's probably the best catalyst. I'm not going to say that the scaling is the best, but it's going to be really high. It's going to have really good scaling. It's going to be for more obscure build Faith In, but the damage is going to be up there with the best of them. Now, aside from that, since you can cast spells and incantations with it, I consider it to be the best. So you have to meet the requirements. It has to go with your build, but at the end of the day, You know, it's just absolutely phenomenal. So before we close out, I'm gonna go ahead and max this guy out. Show you guys what's so great about it. Well, like I said, the big thing for me is the charged heavies, but the Astral War shines as well. Then we get black magic, we get blood loss buildup, and what I love about it is even though it has magic, it doesn't scale. So all you need is dex, guys. That's it. All you're gonna need is dex. So 269 plus 229 the scaling we have. The magic is gonna be 80 plus 77. So I think that's great. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And since it does have scaling, I'm guessing the more dex, the more magic damage you'll get. I guess that's how that would work. So really, 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 really cool. Either way, guys, so at this point, now we have this done. The only thing left is the Madness region. And why do I always forget the name of the damn dragon region? I just said it earlier. Regardless, we got the Dragon region and the Madness region, but that's all we have. Jagged Peak, sorry guys. Jagged Peak, and then your Madness region. Now, with that being said, we still have this area here, and then it's going to be going downhill. There's like a little camp and a couple guys to take out, and then a catacomb. That catacomb will lead to this region. So that's what we're going to be doing. I assume within 3 episodes we'll be, over this way. So we're getting close. So next episode we should be able to fit in the whole path up to the Madness region. And we should do the Madness region in 1 episode. Then we can go ahead and knock this out, and then we're jumping into the end game, so we're making really good progress. But we do want to go ahead and jump over to Castle Watering Hole. That way we're set up and ready to go. I'd love to show this off, but just not many enemies. So, like I said, regular Katana moveset, but the charged heavies do stand out because they do a lot of posture damage. It's just no other moveset, no other Katana gets to that moveset. Then the Astral Vor, which is cool, right? But check it out when you charge it. Yeah, and every single one of those arcs are help building up blood loss, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get it, and that's why it's just exceptional. At the end of the day, it's very exceptional. But either way, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap on up. So, as mentioned, next few episodes, we'll wrap up the rest of our optional content. Then we will be pushing towards the end of this very long journey. Especially for anyone tuning late, you gotta know, we just did it's a newer channel, we never got a chance to do the base game. So I did the base game walkthrough followed by this. I mean, we're, around 100 hours right now. So actually a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, right? But either way, y'all stay tuned, subscribe for more walkthrough, and we'll catch you back here shortly.